This video is sponsored by Shadowverse Evolve. So, you want to get into the game, but you're not sure which starter deck to get? Well, my name is Ignideus, I'm an official Shadowverse Evolve English Edition ambassador, and I'm here to help. Right off the bat, if you already have a class in mind that you absolutely want to play, you're gonna want to pick up the starter deck for that class no matter what. Not only does every starter deck come with important exclusive cards not found in any other product, but they also include a leader card for their respective class that is required to play that class in official play. That said, if you're undecided which class to start with, hopefully this video will help you, both from the perspective of an out-of-the-box experience to play, and as a foundation to build upon as you acquire more cards. To be clear, this is just my personal opinion from playing the starters, as well as discussing their strengths with fellow players, and looking at results from locals. If you just want to pick up and play a starter, my opinion is that Dragoncraft and Swordcraft are the strongest. Using the overflow mechanic, Dragoncraft can outvalue the other decks easily in the long game, especially if they ramp early using Dragon Oracle. For example, Dragon Guard gains +2/+2 in stats on overflow, making it a massive ward follower that the opponent must clear. On the other hand, Swordcraft can put out an immense amount of pressure through tempo on the board, overwhelming your opponent with followers and stats. Oathless Knight and Floral Fencer are key examples of cards in the starter deck that work very well toward that end, flooding the field and establishing yourself as the beatdown. In third place, I'd put Havencraft. It's an amulet-based deck that teaches a more controlling style of play, all while effectively supporting the included boss monster Skullfane that gives the deck a concrete win condition. Following that, I'd put Abysscraft. It's the other side of the coin, a very aggressive deck with a lot of burn potential, using cards like Razory Claw, which does direct damage, and Playful Necromancer that summons ghost tokens with Storm, but doesn't last as long against decks that can withstand the onslaught of damage. Next is Runecraft. The starter deck showcases one of its main mechanics, Spell Chain, and it does it well, with Mithril Golem as the big payoff for casting many spells. However, Spell Chain is very synergistically demanding, and massively benefits in consistency the more spells you play. And this starter deck has too many followers relative to the number of spells, so it doesn't reach its fullest potential, as you might spend your early turns playing followers that don't contribute to your win condition rather than casting spells that do. Finally, I'd put Forestcraft. The starter showcases the power of generating fairy tokens and using them to take control of the board, specifically using the cards Titania Sanctuary and Aria Fairy Princess to make your fairies even stronger and give them more impact on board by granting them Assail and Rush respectively. That said, while you do have the potential to overwhelm your opponent this way, the starter deck is wanting for a combo payoff for playing many cards. In terms of the best starter deck to build upon, it's a question that has a very nuanced answer. Like I mentioned previously, if you have your heart set on a class already, get the starter deck for that class, both for the leader card and for the exclusive class cards not found anywhere else. Otherwise, what follows here is my personal opinion. At the very top, I'd rank Swordcraft first. Floral Fencer is an absolutely vital exclusive card, and the other exclusives, while not as impactful, are still very strong, like Quick Blader for early aggression, and the exclusive legendary Tsubaki, who is flexible as removal or finishing damage. To top it all off, the final deck you're building towards is not far off from the starter. Add Otohime, Royal Banner, and Alwaida's Command, and you have massively increased the power of this starter without much investment. Next, I'd rank Dragoncraft second. The final deck you're building towards does require a bit of investment, using cards like the neutral legendary Lucifer to fulfill its fullest potential. That being said, the exclusives in this starter deck are too good to ignore. Dragon Oracle is the premier source of ramp for the class. More immediately for set 1, the exclusive legendary Fafnir is also incredible AoE removal, Dragon Warrior can easily trade 3 bodies for 1, and Dragon Guard, as previously mentioned, is potent as a defensive shield once you're in overflow. In third, I'd place Runecraft. As I said, the starter showcases the spell chain mechanic well, and cards like Penguin Wizard, Insight, and Fire Chain are absolutely worth the pickup to strengthen any deck that relies on this mechanic. Not to mention the essential Demon Flame Mage as your main reactive AoE clear to make sure that you survive long enough to be able to do any of your big combo plays in the first place. Even the non-exclusive spells are very good to have, like Sorcery Cache and the neutral angelic spells. If you take this starter and add some valuable cards from set 1, specifically Merlin for a spell tutor, and Dimension Shift and Flame Destroyer for an extremely potent win condition, you will have a good time with Runecraft. Next is Havencraft. First off, Acolyte's Light is used into the future as hard removal, and if you're willing to invest in Havencraft in set 1, you can massively strengthen the control potential of the deck using legendaries like Lucifer and Jean, as well as take advantage of the Skullfane in this starter as a strong win condition just as it is out of the box. Next is Forestcraft. Getting Rose Gardener, Water Fairy, and the legendary Aria can be important depending on the build of Forestcraft you want to go forward with, so I'd say it's worth the pickup. Still, many of Forestcraft's more powerful cards lie in Advent of Genesis, the the first booster set. Nature's Guidance and Harvest Festival for Cycle, with Rhinoceroach and Ancient Elf serving as combo-based win conditions that take advantage of the fairy generation that the starter deck provides. Finally, we have Abysscraft. Summon Bloodkin and Playful Necromancer are definitely key cards you want to get the starter for, but similarly to Forestcraft, many of Abysscraft's strongest cards are found outside of the starter deck. Kerberos is so much value, Dire Bond helps to activate Sanguine and cycles through your deck, and Phantom Howl is so much burn damage through the ghost that it summons. Those are my thoughts on the starter decks. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, donate if you didn't, and subscribe for more Shadowverse Evolved content in the very near future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.